Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So now, as discussed in the previous videos, we have completed all three methods for your implementation of the stacks, about the inserting up of the elements, about the deleting of the elements, right? The three methods about your list, the DQ and the LIFO-Q methods. We have discussed all these three into the previous videos. Right, so today I'll give you a little idea about the linked list also, right? Linked list that how are those, what are the methods which are suitable to implement up a stack, right? How do we do the stuffs, and what are the different functions that we have up over here in the linked list, which helps us in like dealing up with the stacks. That is what we'll be discussing up. Okay, so just a second, I'll just write the heading over here, that is implementation using singly linked list. Right, this is what is your implementation for the singly linked list. Fine, now that's all done. Fine, so I'll discuss in that there are two respective methods, right, into the linked list, which we use in into a constant time, right? So those two methods which we are having, first is the add head, and say that you need to write in the item, right? And the second one we are having is your remove head. So remove head, and into the bracket again I'll be writing up the brackets only. Fine, so these are the two elements, these are two functions which we have up over here in the linked list, right? And we just use those with the stacks for inserting or removing. So add head will help you out for inserting up of the elements, inserting of the items over the stacks. Remove head, it will help you to remove the elements, remove the items from your stacks. Okay, this is how these two functions are over there, right? So these two are the methods which are very much suitable for implementing up over your stacks, for implementing onto your stacks, right? These two methods are like very much clear at that end. Fine. Apart from these, we have some 4-5 more functions which we use up over here in the linked list for the stacks only. As we were having the functions for the Q method, for the Q module, that right at the LIFO-Q function, right? The same method we have it for this also, and we'll discuss about the same, right? So my first function which we have up over here is the get size function. Now, so it will help you to get the number of items in a stack. Get size function, this will actually help you to get in the number of items in a stack. Now here it might be a little confusing, because into our previous one, that was the, I'll say, this Q module LIFO-Q function, we studied the max size, right? Now into the linked list we are having the get size function. So these things you have to take care of, that under which of the following things which function comes out, right? You can't use max size under the list, under the linked list, or you cannot use get size under the Q module, right? So these things have to be very clearly taken care of, that which function is coming under which type of the implementation method, so as you can use that correctly without any of the errors or some things like that. Because if you use one function of any one particular module to the other, it won't result you the desired output, it will simply result you some of the errors, right? So that thing has to be taken care of very clearly over here. So get size and getting the number of items in a stack. Next we're having is empty. Okay, E will be capital, right? Is empty is the second function which we have up over here, and what it does helps you out, it returns true if the stack is empty. Okay, otherwise it will return you false. So if your stack is empty, it means if it is all nothing over there is into the stack, it will return you true, otherwise it will return you false. And when we were into the Q module, empty function was helping us to do the same thing. Empty function was there. So in the Q module there was empty function which was helping us to find out whether the stack of us is empty or not. And here under this linked list we have this is empty function which is helping us to do the same thing, right? Next we are having the function which is peak function. So this peak function will help you to return the top item in stack. Okay, it will help you to return on the top item in the stack. And if you have this stack which is empty, it will help you to raise up an exception. Okay, so at that time, if you're having up the elements or the items into a stack, it will help you return the top item of that particular stack. But in the scenario where your stack is completely empty, it will help you to raise up an exception over there. So you just have to deal up with that exception, and then you have to work in further with the things. Okay, so this is what is the peak. Next you are having the push value function. Okay, so now this push value, it will help you to push a value into the head of stack. It means that it will actually help you out to insert up some values into the stack. This is what the push function will help you to do. And next we're having up the pop value. So it will help you to remove and return a value in the head of the say stack, right? If empty, raises an exception, right? So this is about the pop function. That into the pop function, what happens that if you're having up a value which is as in like you have removed and returned up a value in the head of the stack, right? If it is empty, so in that case it respectively helps you to raise up an exception, right? And if it is not empty, right, it means that if it is having the values over there, so it will just simply help you out to get in the or remove up the respective value. Again, it follows the same rule, last in first out. So whatever the element you have entered at the last, that element will go out from the first. So this is how it all works over the pop function. So these are some of the functions which we have up in the linked list for your stacks, right? The add head, remove head, get size, it will help you to get the number of items in a stack. Is empty, it will help you to return the true if the stack is empty, otherwise false. Peak, it will return the top item in a stack. Push, it will help push a value into the head of a stack. Pop, it will remove and return a value in the head of the stack. If empty, it will raise up an exception. So these are all the functions which you have up in the stacks for the linked list. Right, so here we just completed out our stacks topic for the data structures in Python. Right, next we'll be moving with the other topics for the data structures whatsoever we are having up into the list. Right, so I hope you are pretty much clear with the stacks and the practical implementations which we have done up over the stacks, the different methods for the implementation of the stacks. Right, so if you have enjoyed this video, do like this video, do share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe out my channel. We'll see you there in the next video.